What is poppin' squad? It's your boy Jesimein. Welcome back to another Borderlands video. Now today we're going to be talking about my Immortal Fist melee Amara build. You guys have been asking me to try my best to make a super strong melee build, and I kind of think I found what I would go with if I were to use this. This build is super fun. It's super funny because you're not using the main thing Borderlands is known for, and that's guns. That's why I have no guns equipped. I'm actually going to be doing a whole campaign run using this build to see if I'll be able to do it and how far I can get. But without further ado, let's get into the build. Now, to start off, I am going to be using a Brawler Ward shield. Mine is anointed, which is really cool. If I use Flame Slam, I'll be able to get extra 200%. Haven't really decided if I really want to use that or not, but if I ever need to, I'll be able to do that much more damage. Brawler Ward's really good because when your melee or when your shield is depleted, you get 300% melee damage on top of it, which is most of the time being that you're in front of the enemy's face and they wreck your shields anyways. When I show you the build's concept, you'll see why it's really good to have this, because your shield is literally almost always depleted. I have 25% weapon damage on top of it, which is, I mean, it's useless. I don't really care about that. And I get 2% max health per second when shields are active, which is another thing I really don't care about because my shield's really never up. And being that she has health gen already, it's really not that important. But what makes this god roll is the fact that I have 13% resistance on top of it, and the fact that it's anointed. So there's better shields out there. I've seen a guy with like the perfect one. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot to work with, but Brawler Ward or the Rough Rider are definitely going to be really good choices. I just go for Brawler Ward because I want more damage, but you can definitely go Rough Rider if you want more survivability, if this isn't already enough. So going into the next thing is going to be my Relic. It's going to be the Flurrying Centered Breaker with a 1-2-2. It's going to have Amara gains damage reduction. This bonus is based on the distance to the enemy. The closer to the enemy, the greater the bonus. So basically, you're going to be in melee range, which means you're going to be at the cap, which is going to be 29% damage reduction, which is as if you're running a Rough Rider shield already. So that's why I say if you were to run Rough Rider, you're going to be double up on damage reduction. You're going to have over 50%, which is really good in this case. So being that I have this Relic, I rather take that damage reduction and get the extra damage in melee, because I don't want to be having to spend 100 freaking punches in order to kill a little random mob. So that's really good. Mine definitely came, I would call it god roll because I have 50% melee damage on top of it. Health regen is cool, and radiation resistance I guess is cool. If I were to have a choice, it would just probably be like another like damage resistance. Maybe like Incendiary would be even more perfect, because that's your weakness when you're running just a health build. So yeah, but pretty much the most important part about this mod is the fact that I get +2 on that Scythe one, because you get 100% melee damage per stack. So that's really, really good. So going into the grenade. Now the grenade, it can differentiate. So if you want to go more elemental based, I would run a Hex just to spread the CC everywhere, being that if you were to spec more into her spreading abilities, you can do that. But with this build in particular, I wanted to go full-fledged melee. That's it. No gun, as you can see, with no guns equipped. That it was the whole goal of it. So I wanted to have as much survivability as possible. So I went with the Power Siphon Transfusion Frag Grenade, and the only reason I did it is because it heals for 120% of health damage dealt. So whenever I'm in a situation, I just chuck a grenade and try to get that health back if I'm in a situation that I'm not meleeing, which is very rare anyways, but why not have the extra utility? So yeah. Going into the next one is Knife Drain Commander Planetoid. This is my favorite part of the build. This is what makes the build so super strong, is it imbues melee with lifesteal, and it's a 75% lifesteal. What's cool about that is, for some reason, I don't know if the numbers are off, but you almost get all your health back like every time. Like, I know 75% basically is all your health back, but it almost feels like you could be one shot and pop a melee and you're back at full because of her health regen on top of it. So it's really, really good. It's basically 100% lifesteal. That's what it feels like whenever you're meleeing an enemy. And the sub is deal 69% bonus elemental damage whenever you melee an enemy. Elemental type changes every 5 seconds, so this works perfect. It's like it was designed for her. She already is a status effect queen, and if you go through her punches, you can get some extra damage, and it changes every 5 seconds, so you're always rotating. So that's just really, really cool. I have grenade damage, 25% melee damage, and shock damage. So you can see I'm stacking a lot of melee damage. I'm gonna be getting 300 from here, another 300 from here, another 350 from here, and another 25 from here. So already I'm just getting big chunks of melee damage. You can see where I got the damage aspect from. So that's pretty much the you only pretty much need these three. The nade is whatever. You can take that off if you really wanted to, just go full-fledged fist. But yeah, so try to get you a class mod that looks like this. This one is super important because you get big chunks of damage. But the most important part of the build is definitely going to be this Relic. So if you have a Relic that has imbue melee with lifesteal, it doesn't really even matter about the damage. You're going to end up killing them anyway. So going into the build, we're going to start off with the red tree. I am using Phase Grasp. Just I haven't decided whether I want to go between this and Phase Slam because I can have my anointing, but I just feel sometimes there's some enemies that are just too brutal and I want to get them out of the fight for a little bit while I melee the rest. So I pretty much just spam Phase Grasp. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to have the action skill augment glamour on there just to have confusion. So like I said, if I'm in a situation where I can only hit so many people because I'm meleeing, if I go across a big enemy and I want to confuse them to get them out my way, that's what I'll pretty much use. And I also have her shock augment just to make it, just to have additional shock damage, because punching off the shield is going to be the start to it anyway. So it's really, really good. So going down to the important parts, you're going to have 5 out of 5 on Anima, which is real good because you increase damage over time. Being that you're going to be punching, fused with the fact that the Relic does give you elements, you're going to be able to do a substantial amount of damage. It's an extra 100% duration, so it's going to be really, really good, especially if you're spamming melee. Going down to Tempest, extra once again, extra elemental damage and shock damage, so it doubles up on her punch itself, because you're going to be able to have certain situations where you're on that shock rotation, you're going to have a big chunk of damage for free. That's extra like 50% towards that punch. On top of that, you're going to have 1 out of 1 on Illuminated Fist, which is you gain increased melee damage, period, just a raw 75% on top of that. So going into the green tree, which is where you're pretty much going to be speccing into the most, you're going to go 5 out of 5 on Root out of Rise, because you want to get that max health. The bigger your health pool, the more strong the build is, obviously, because you're going to be getting your health back instead of your shield. I only have 1 out of 3 on personal space because that's just for my class mod. I don't really care about that for this build. 5 out of 5 on clarity, so it's cool because you get your regenerative health. So even if you're in a situation where you can't get in melee position, you can run away and you regen health, get back in the fight, get your health back. And go down to Helping Hands, 5 out of 5. After a few seconds after using her action skill, you can get her arms back. So usually you just spam this and start punching with them, and that's where the cool look, I guess, happens. And when your when your arms are out, you get that 40% damage reduction fused on top of that 29% that you get for free with your class mod. So you're pretty much just tanking everything while being able to have your health going up off of the lifesteal. The super most important part of all the skills is Find Your Center, because it gives you the biggest chunks. I have 3 out of 1, which gives me 300% melee damage, and additionally for a few seconds after action skill, I get an increased melee range, so it pretty much helps you out in those situations where you can't close the gap on your enemy. Going down to One with Nature, you get more increased max health. Like I said, the more health, the better. You get elemental damage resistance to her action skill element, so it's really cool because at the time, at first I wasn't really finding anything that was really worth putting into that wasn't giving you health. So anything extra getting health is without Rough Rider is really, really good, because I have so much damage reduction for free. So it's as if I have a Rough Rider with the Brawler's damage. So it's really, really cool having a skill tree that actually gives you health. And going down to Do Unto Others, whenever an enemy damages Amara, she automatically throws an energy orb. So it's really cool just to have an extra, because you're going to be getting hit 24/7. You're not picking and shooting from distances. You're going to be getting damage done all the time. You pretty much have this energy orb in cooldown rotation all the time. Just some extra free damage. It's not too much. I don't really see, it's not like it's melting things or anything, but it's just cool to have to break somebody else's shield just because it's a random cooldown. Anyways, why not? And then you want to have, I have 7 out of 5 Jive Cross because I have the class mod that gives me 2. Whenever Amara deals melee damage, see, this what sucks because I'm not using guns, but this will be really good. She gains increased action skill damage and gun damage for a few seconds, so I can get a plus 21% gun damage, but I do get 105% action skill damage, which is really good, especially that I'm going to be spamming Phase Slam if I switch to that one, so that's a really good one. Guardian Angel, obviously for solo players, this is really, really good. It's just a pretty much second life on rotation. It's really good. It saves you. You're going to be in the battle, in the heat of it, so you're going to need this at some point, especially when you're solo, and you don't have to worry about getting stressed out, because if you can survive 120 seconds, you're going to be able to get it back again and pretty much be immortal, unkillable, because you're going to come raise up as Guardian Angel every single time. And lastly, for this skill tree, it's going to be Blitz. It's a melee override, which is cool because let's say you're in a situation where, especially I see the most done for this in Fight for Your Life. Like I'll be crawling and I'll be like, damn, that NPC is super far, I don't have a weapon to shoot him, and this will still affect, and I'll like just jet over there and like punch him and then start killing him. So this is really cool. It's on a 8-second cooldown, so you get some extra melee damage. If you kill them with it, you get it back, and you're able to like chain people. So the more damage you have, or the weaker the enemies, it's going to be better because you can be able to chain reaction this and jet all over the map. It's really, really good for fight for your life, because then you're able to close the distance really fast just by aiming at them. So going into the blue tree, you're going to have 5 out of 5 on Violent Tapestry. Applying a status fact gives Amara a stack of Rush. So pretty much it's just stacking Rush stacks. Most people who run Amara other builds are going to have this anyways. You guys know what Rush does. And going down to Restless, I gain increased cooldown rate. The faster I get my cooldowns, obviously the better, especially because I have so many procs that are going to come off after using my action skill. And the fact that every time I use my action skill, my arms come out anyway, so I get that damage reduction. So the faster I get this, the more damage reduction I get. So yeah, it's pretty much it, you guys, for the build itself. It's pretty straightforward. It's just you got to have some really good god rolls in order to maximize it. This is not necessarily a boss build. This is not even necessarily a mob build. This is more of just a, hey, play around, have fun with, and do really good type build, and you know, play differently without weapons. But it's actually a really viable build, especially solo. Like, you wreck people. I don't know what it is, but the modifiers really suck sometimes, and being able to have melee on your side a lot of the times, it's very rare. I don't even think I've ever even seen a minus melee. So it's just untouchable when it comes to that. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys would build if you guys were running this kind of build. Let me know what you would change, what you wouldn't do. For the grenade, what do you guys think would be the best grenade for this? I don't even think there's anything better than having health for it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I'm gonna be definitely trying to run this probably sometime tomorrow or the day after. I'm probably gonna stream it and just see how far I can get in the campaign, just spamming melee. Just a fun little video. And for the people who want to know how good it is, we'll pretty much recap on that, and I'll record it for you guys. So if you guys have any questions, let your boy know below. Thank y'all so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Your boy is out.